Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Charnel, and today I want to get into the books that I read in the month of April. Actually, hold on y'all, I forgot I had my fan on. Sorry y'all, I forgot I had my fan on, so it's probably gonna be like loud in that first part. Y'all know spring is here. I'm in New Jersey. We getting like little pushes of summer days, kind of like in the 80s, and you know we have humidity and stuff. So I live on the 7th floor, so I have to run a fan because heat rises, y'all. But anyway, so I'm gonna jump into the books that I read in April. I have 3 of them here. Like, these are the ones that I own. And then I think the rest are on audiobook and... Oh, that's what it was. It was library books and audiobooks and Kindle. Okay, guys. So, I'm going to start off with the ones that I read that I have physically with me right here. Okay? In no particular order, because I forgot. I have my laptop right here, and you know Goodreads kind of like mixes them up, I think. Let me see. Oh wait, no, it's in order. Okay, yay. All right, so I'm gonna start with Must Love Books. I read this one in April. You guys, this is by Shauna Robinson. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. You guys, I love this. I give it a 4 to 5 stars. It's about, so the synopsis on the back is paperback, so this is the only synopsis that I have. So I could try to mix in what I remember. Cause y'all know as soon as you finish a book, bookish people were like, what happened? I remember I loved it. Okay, so she's like 20 something. Her name is Nora Hughes. She's a 20 something. She's like 24, 25 in this book. And she's in basically a depressive state due to her first big girl job out of college. I'm 33 and I vividly remember those days. Like, those days put me in therapy. Like, that first job that you think you're supposed to just stick it out. It's your first job out of college. You know, you're like, this is what I prayed for. This is what I worked hard for the past 4, 5, 6 years in undergrad. And she was dealing with her mental health, like, due to that. And yeah, so that's basically like my synopsis. And I just resonated so much with Nora because, you guys, I'm telling you, like, what she was going through in this book, I went through at that age, at 25. It was like from 25 to 28. I dealt with that when I stayed too long at a job that was abusing me. And they know who they are. You guys probably know who they are because they're a big U.S. company. I'll say this, and they're in the retail sector. But yeah, so she was dealing with there's romance in this, there's friendships in this. I love her friendships. And the romance, like, she had good people around her. You guys, I don't want to say it's not a depressing book. It's not. It is a light read, but it's a light read where, you know, this, like, the main character Nora, she's going through stuff, like, you know, like, we're all going through stuff. But she gets her romance. She has like really good friends. I love her work friends. Well, they turn into her real friends too. And I highly recommend it. It's a bookish book. I love bookish stories. I have a lot of them. Actually, I should probably look around of all my bookish books that I have. But yeah, so you get like the inside scoop of like the publishing industry and authors and stuff like that. So I recommend this. 4 to 5. Read it. Okay, so the next one. Okay, it's kind of working backwards. So I read One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole. Y'all, this was a book. Wow. So there's like a backstory behind this. Like, I did not know. Okay, so I don't know if I shared it on here, but I went to this book event, this book pop up, like a local. She's an indie book seller, Book Haven Books. I'll put her Instagram here. Like, this is not sponsored. Like, I just love her. I love the owner of it, and I just she has gems, you guys. She has gems. I'm gonna do a book haul after this video goes out. I'm gonna do a book haul, and a lot of them are from her. But y'all, I don't know what it is, but she has gems, like books that you've never seen anywhere. Anyways, long story short, I was at her pop-up event like in mid-April at Book Haven Books, and so she had like a whole section of like just books, and obviously she's a bookseller. And anyways, I saw this one in like her thriller shelf, and she had a new releases table too, but she had like another shelf where it's like it was like romance here, thrillers here, nonfictions, memoirs, and so on and so forth. And this was in the thriller section. I was like, oh, Alyssa Cole, I've seen the name, because I'm not gonna lie, I DNF'd one of her books from the library, When No One Is Watching. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it was called When No One Is Watching, by Alyssa Cole. I was like, oh, I know this name. Let me see. One of Us Knows. And then the synopsis pulled me in, and I bought it. So that was a Saturday. I kid y'all not, like that Tuesday, you know, I've noticed since I've been in this bookish world with y'all that pub days are Tuesdays in the publishing industry. So that literal 3 days later, that Tuesday, I'm on Instagram and I see, you know, her publisher, I don't know who it is, William Morrow. Anyways, her publisher, and like, you know, all the bookish people saying, oh, new release, Alyssa Cole, and Alyssa Cole herself. Oh, new release, One of Us Knows. I was like, I just bought that on Saturday, and it's released today. But y'all, if y'all in the Jersey area, pull up on Book Haven Books. I'm gonna leave her info on the screen. Pull up on her pop-ups, because she has gems. She somehow had this book 3 days before its official release, and I bought it from her. Anyways, so back to the book. I just love that. Like, that was like a big shock. I was like, wait, is that the book I just bought 3 days ago and it's being released today? And I immediately started reading it, and I loved it. Anyways, okay, so this one is a thriller. I would say it's a sort of a psychological thriller, but then it's not. There's like mixes of different thriller elements in this. It's not like spooky scary. It's not, because I've told y'all before, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't do ghosts and shit like that, or stuff like that. Oops. Anyways. Okay, so this one is about, I'm gonna read you guys the synopsis. So, I hope it's not a long video again. I'm sorry, y'all, I'll be long-winded, because I just have so much to talk about with these books. I'm gonna try to make this a nice, quick wrap-up for April. I'm sorry in advance if it's more than 30 minutes. Okay, so the synopsis is quickly from the critically acclaimed and New York Times bestselling author of When No One Is Watching, comes a riveting thriller about the new caretaker of a historic estate who finds herself trapped on an island with a murderer and the ghosts of her past. Not literal ghosts, like I said. So the main character is Kenitra Nash, or Ken. So this is all I'm gonna say. So she has dissociative identity disorder, or DID. Okay, so basically she has the disorder to where she has multiple personalities in her head, and they're called alters. So the book starts, this is not spoiler, this is on the back. It starts where she's literally she's coming back. She's waking up. Ken is Kenitra, okay? She's waking up from letting her alters take over her body for the last like 5 years. And 5 years ago, she had just been diagnosed with this DID, the dissociative identity disorder. So and she's woken up and she found out, okay, we're gonna be caretaker of this old house outside of in a little tiny island outside of Manhattan, where literally it's like population of one, and she has to deal with that throughout the book. I will say I've never read anything like this. I've never read, I don't want to spoil that. I don't want to spoil it. I just never read anything like this. And I've learned from this, I've learned so much about DID. I know always heard of people who have multiple personalities. You know, I've watched the movie Sybil back in the day. I just never, you know, but I just never, I was exposed to so much, like just reading this book. And I just love Ken too. She's one of those main characters that are like, you know, reminds me of like Queenie from the book Queenie. Like, just, they're a mess. But it's just like, you're in their head and you're learning about, like, you know, everybody has traumas and stuff like that. I highly recommend this. I'm so excited because, so you guys, I'm a part of like 3 book clubs. And one of them is, it's a local book club, Completely Booked. It's called Completely Booked, and it's a local book club like in my area, like a city over, but she does it through Zoom. The girl who runs it, and she always has the authors on. So I'm excited because like this month is this is the book for May. One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole, and she's gonna have Alyssa Cole on the Zoom. So I'm gonna for sure join that. And I'm already done. I'm already done with my task. I've already read the book in April. So I highly recommend this one. And what did I rate it? I rated it 4 out of 5. That's what I thought. Yeah, 4 out of 5. Okay, the other one that I read that I own is The Lost Ticket by Freya Sampson. And it's another one that I loved. You guys, this one was so cute. It's a feel good. I've told you guys before, I love those I don't know what it is, but I love British authors. Like that they have that contemporary romance, contemporary fiction, like feel good fiction. That's what it is. Feel good fiction. They have it on lock for me. That only a few American authors have my heart with that. But these British authors, they know their stuff. Freya Sampson's a new one for me. Beth O'Leary, Claire Pooley. I'll do a video and pull them all together because I've been reading them for years. I love them, guys. Okay, anyways. You see, this is why my videos be too long. I be talking too much. Okay. The Lost Ticket. So this one, I love it. It's about, so strangers on a London bus unite to help an elderly man find his missed love connection in the heartwarming new novel from the acclaimed author of The Last Chance Library. Oh, I haven't read that one. Yeah, so basically it's an attempt at a second chance romance. Like in the book, they're trying to get this man his second chance. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the old man Frank, in like the 60s, so this is like based in like 2022, I think, this story, but in like the 60s in the book, like 1962, he was on a bus and he met a girl, and like basically love at first sight for him. He met her, they talked for their bus ride until they both had to get off, and she wrote her phone number on his bus, on her bus ticket, and gave it to him to say, hey, call me, we'll set up a date, whatever. And is it on here? And yes, and he lost the ticket. That's where the lost ticket came from. He lost that bus ticket with her phone number on it, y'all. So in 2022, Libby, she's the main character, Libby Nichols, she basically meets Frank on the bus, like she's going somewhere on that same bus. And he tells her the story, and she like makes it her life's mission to find that girl. Guys, I loved it. I laughed, I cried. It's a feel-good fiction. Read this. Okay. Let me get into some of the other books that I read. You guys, I read a lot of books in April. It's getting to be a problem. Okay, so another book that I'm going to try to go fast now. The other book that I read is Clearwater by Nina, period. I rated that 3 stars. That was about, I read it on my Kindle, so I'll put the picture somewhere up here of like the book. So that one is about, she's basically the main character, because like the synopsis is like a poem, so I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so she's like 23. She's basically trying to find, she was raised by her grandparents and her mom was in her life. Oh, her name is Pavati. Sorry. Her name is Pavati, Pavati. And she's basically trying to find her, like her siblings because she was raised by her grandparents. And her mom was in her life, but her mom was like in and out. Like her main guardians, her parents were her grandparents, basically. But she knows she has other siblings from her dad and her mom. She's the youngest, so she's like, you know, she's trying to find her siblings, and it's a lot of them. So we go on that journey with her. We get romance. I wouldn't call this really a, I guess it could be considered urban romance, like urban fiction. Yeah, I would say it's urban fiction. But I recommend it. It was just, to me, it was just drawn out too long. It's 534 pages. I think it only needs to be like 300 pages. It was just, so I got bored. When I was reading it, like the first 200 pages, I was like, oh, this is gonna be 4 or 5 stars. Like, not even thinking, I'm trying to stop thinking about books and stars, but like I was just like, I'm like hooked. But then as I kept reading, I was getting bored. So that's the only thing. I rated it 3 stars, but I do recommend it if you like deep details like that. But I didn't think it needed to be 500 something pages, 534 pages. All right, so the next one is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I'll put the picture right here, but y'all already know what that is. It's part 3 to the Part of Your World series. And I read that on audiobook. Yes, audiobook is reading. I don't care what you say. And I ate that up. I finished that in like 2 days because I had it on like 1.5 speed or 1.4, 1.5, which is like the sweet spot for me. I can't go faster than that. I don't know how y'all do it. But anyways, I loved it. I love Justin and Emma. I love their story. And I love the callback to the other characters in the first 2 books. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I haven't read the actual first book because I didn't know it was a series until this book came out. So I've read Yours Truly. I read that a couple months ago, like in January, February, through Libby on my Kindle. I was like, oh, this is cute, you know? And I saw this one came out, and I kept seeing people saying, oh, it's the 3rd book in the series. And I would see Yours Truly and like this other one with, like, yeah, Part of Your World. And I was like, oh, wow, I read this totally out of order, but I didn't know. But I guess like it's a genius of Abby Jimenez, because I really didn't know that it was a series, and it didn't feel like I was missing any pieces, if that makes sense. Like, you know, when you're reading a series, if you read it out of order by accident, you're feeling like you're missing something. I didn't feel like that. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. And the quick synopsis, if you don't know about this book by now, I guess I'll tell you. So Justin has a curse, and thanks to a Reddit thread, is now all over the internet. Every woman he dates goes on to find their soulmate the second they break up with Justin. So when a woman slides in his DMs, Emma, with the same problem, they come up with a plan. They'll date each other and break up. Their curses should cancel each other's out. And they'll both go on to find the loves of their lives. It's a bonkers idea, and it just might work. This book was just so cute. It was a cute, fluffy read, listen. I highly recommend it. And again, yeah, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Okay, and the next one is so Legendborn. I started it in I started Legendborn in like early March on audiobook, and I finished it because it's long, you guys. I finished it in April 3rd, so I'm counting that one as an April read, and I'm gonna count this as one. But then I immediately followed up with the Blood March, which is the second book in the Legendborn cycle series, follow up to Legendborn. I listened to that one right after, and I gave that one 4 stars. I gave Legendborn 5 stars. So it's a YA fantasy. It's basically a retelling of that Legend of Arthur. You know, the sword in the rock, Excalibur. Can you know? It's basically a retelling of that. I listened to both of them on audiobook. Fantasy for me, I think most of the time I need to listen on audiobook, and because I feel like I'm getting the full picture versus reading, my eyes start glazing over and I'm like, okay, I'm bored. But I loved it. I highly recommend them, both of them, and I'm excited for the third one. I think it's called Oathbound, and I think it comes out next year in 2025. Okay, so another book that I read was The Comeback by Ella Berman. And this is my second book by the author. And the first one I read from her, I can't remember. I'll put the name on the screen, guys. But I love this book. I give it 5 stars. You guys, this was, you know those books you go in like, it's a library book, by the way. So I'll put the picture up here. I went in like, you know those books you go in, you're like, I'm probably not gonna like it. It's a pretty cover. Let me see what it's about. And that's what I went into. I had no expectations for this book. I barely read the back. I just love the cover. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Okay, so the synopsis is, it's a deep dive into the psyche of a young actress raised in the spotlight under the influence of a charming, manipulative film director, and the moment when she decides his time is up. It's a clue. At the height of her career and on the eve of her first Golden Globe nomination, teen star Grace Turner disappeared. And now tentatively sober and surprisingly numb, Grace is back in LA after her year of self-imposed exile. She knows the new private life she wants isn't going to be easy as she tries to be a better person and reconnect with the people she left behind. Okay, so this is a purely contemporary fiction. It's not a romance book. It's a I would say probably like literary fiction actually too. Literary fiction, contemporary fiction, because it's exploring a few themes in here, and this is also it's sort of like a telling of like the hashtag Time's Up, hashtag Me Too movement from a few years ago. I mean, it's still going on, but like, you know, where people were exposing, like men in multiple industries, tech, entertainment, music, you know, so on and so forth, for like sexual, like they're like chronic sexual harassers, predators, all that type of stuff, and people were exposing them on, like women and men were exposing them on the internet with that hashtag. So it's sort of in that vein. But the deep dive of it is 378 pages of pure, like, you're just following this young lady, Grace. I think she's like 22 in the book. And you get flashbacks of like what happened to her. So it is, I would say, is a trigger warning for like SA. So just going, if you want to read this, go into that with that thought in mind. And it was just really good. It's a really good book to me. It wasn't, I know it's a heavy topic, but it didn't feel heavy to me. The whole time I just was rooting for Grace. Like, girl, you know, things will get better. Like, I don't know. I was just rooting for her. It touched my heart. I loved it. And yeah, I highly recommend that. And then I think I have like 2, 3 more. Oh, I'm good on time, I think. Okay, so another one that I read was First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. So this is a thriller. It's a thriller, and it just came out. When was this? I think January. It just came out. Okay, so this one is about okay, so Eevee Porter has everything a nice Southern girl could want: a perfect doting boyfriend, a house with a white picket fence, and a garden, and a fancy group of friends. The only catch: Eevee Porter doesn't exist. And that's all I'm gonna tell y'all, because this book, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I kept waiting for the hit. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was okay. It was okay. It was 3 out of 5 stars. Like, it was okay. There was just no, like, I guess in my thrillers, like my popcorn thrillers, I just want, like, you know, that big punch where like things wrap up and you're like, oh my gosh, like you're recalling stuff, and I never got that. I never did. So it's okay. It's all right. You can read it if you want to, but it's okay. All right. Another book that I read was a novella. It's Been About You by Brianne Deney. I think I saw who talked about it. I think Shaughnessy Schroeder talked about this. And it's a Kindle book, so Kindle Unlimited, so it's free. It was 56 pages, so it was a true novella, like a small little quick read. I think after First Line Wins, I felt a little slump coming on. So I just read that in like one sitting to just get a cute romance. I rated it 5 stars. It's just a cute little, I guess it's an urban romance. Just because we're Black doesn't mean everything is urban romance, right? But yeah, if you just need a cute little novella to get you out of a slump, or, you know, cleanse your palate, whatever the case is, read Spin About You. I liked it. And then another one that I read is it's called The Break She Needed by Lauren Lacey. I gave it like 3.5 stars. I think that's what it was. I read this and I just give me the ick, and then or not even that. I read this and then put me in a slump, and so I read Spin About You. That's what it was. I read this another Kindle Unlimited book that I read. So it was free. It was 141 pages. So it's a novella. And you guys, I wanted it. I don't know. It's an insta love, but it just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just, I think it's the same thing. Like, it was just like insta love, and then everything was just moving fast. Cause I love insta love. Like, don't get me wrong, I've read a lot of insta love books, like especially on Kindle Unlimited. But it was just fast. Like, it was just too much. I think I was overstimulated. Okay, so it's basically it's The Break She Needed by Lauren Lacey. It's a steamy vacation romance novella, which is also something that I love. I love a romance novel. A vacation novel, like vacation romance novel, especially with novella. So Eevee Summers is a workaholic who struggles with shedding her grind mentality until the consequences of her lifestyle become undeniable. Forced to take a much-needed vacation, Eevee ventures off to Black Summer Island, a tropical paradise where dreams come true. Not only does Eevee find rest and relaxation, but she also finds love unexpectedly. Is this just a 4-day vacation, or is this the beginning of a life she never knew existed? Yeah, so it's a whole series. I think there's 3 or 4 books in this series. It's called the Black Summer Island series by Lauren Lacey. So each book is, oh no, it's 3 books because each book follows the 3 girls in a friend group. So the first one was Eevee. If you want to read it, go ahead. I don't want to tell you not to read it. You can try it yourself, but it wasn't my top. It's not my top pick for y'all to check out. But if you want to, go ahead. All right, you guys. So those are all the books that I read in April. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to be more consistent. I know I feel like I've only been putting out like 1 video every 2 weeks or something, or every 10 days, but you know, life be life. And I just April was very busy. It's my son's birthday month. Work has been really busy for some reason. Suspicious. And yeah, just trying to find my time to read my books too, so I can talk to y'all about them. Anyways, please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's talk in the comments. What have y'all been reading? How was your April reading, and what are you excited for in May? But yeah, bye y'all.